Hi, welcome to Changing Mindsets with Louise Namara. Our topic today, brainwashed. Well, as saying goes, history is the lens we use to see into the future. Through history, we shape the future. My question is, do you know the history of Africa? Do you know that the first jewelry was invented in Central and South Africa about 90,000 years ago? Do you know that the first university was built in Egypt? Do you know that the first use of fire domestically was in Africa about 1.4 million years ago? What about agriculture? The growing of crops and the domestication of animals was invented in Egypt and Ethiopia 18,000 years ago. And the first literature? That was written in Egypt. And the first mathematical artifacts, these were invented in Swaziland about 37 years ago. The first use of pigments, that was 150 years ago along the Rift Valley and in South Africa too. And the first pyramids, those were invented in Egypt about 5,000 years ago, and they reached their peak in the 16th century. Now we can go on and on about the things that were invented in Africa. But in other words, Africa gave the world human civilization. Africa, and not the Western world or the Eastern world, but Africa. My other question is, then why is it that Africa is the least developed continent in the whole entire world? Let's look at this letter that was written in 1835. It says, I have traveled across the length and the breadth of Africa, and I have not seen one person who is a beggar or who is a thief. Such wealth I have seen in this country, such high moral values, people of caliber, that I do not think we could ever conquer this country unless we break the very backbone of this nation, which is her spiritual and her cultural heritage. And therefore, I propose that we replace her old and ancient educational system and her culture, for if Africans think that all that is foreign and English is good and greater than their own, they will lose their self-esteem, their native culture, and they will become what we want them, and that is a truly dominated nation. This was written by Lord Macaulay, and it was addressed to the British Parliament on the 2nd of Feb, 1835. Now, it's because of this that we've underlooked our God natural abilities as Africans. We've underlooked the strength that He gave us, the creativity, the patriotism, the unity, and the rich culture. And our minds have been chained to inferiority, self-hatred. We've given into the Western cultures, to disunity, which the colonizers have used to take advantage of us. We were robbed of our identity, an identity of a rich people and a rich continent. But we need to look at our history and remember who we truly are as Africans. Remember, we introduced civilization into this world. That means that what flows in the blood of the Africans is creativity, innovation, determination, patriotism, and a whole lot more. So let us not focus on what the colonizers or the rest of the world says about us. Let us keep our eyes on our past, on our history, and remember who we truly are. This will recoup our mindsets. And with the right mindset, we can get back to patriotism, to unity, to creativity, which will lead to economic growth and development of Africa. We do not have to depend on the Western world for us to be sustainable. We can look within us. So let us look at our future and remember who we are and what we have, and let us move to economic growth and development. Our future as Africa is bright. Thank you so much.